As of today, the Father has stated that you are my temple. God declares that there is no other place that I would rather call home than the human heart, namely your heart. I am driving out anyone who would commercialize you in any manner because you are my temple, and I urge you to do the same. My choice is to reside within your heart and between your temples, and I will make myself known to you throughout this process. I will drive away those ideas of limitation, grief, and anguish with the help of my Spirit, just as I drove out the merchandisers from the house of my Father 2,000 years ago. Your participation and your willingness to yield to who I am and what I am doing on the inside of you are necessary for this to be accomplished. The things that you have wished for me to perform in your life that are visible to others must first take place deep within you. If you ever expect to escape the prison house of limitation, lack, sickness, and sadness that is advancing upon you on the outside, you will need to destroy the strongholds and high things that are located within your mind. All of life's problems originate from within your heart. You have to give me permission to change the things that are in your mind and heart if you want to change the things that are happening in your life. By substituting the narrative of the negative for the narrative of my word, my promise, and my voice that is continually speaking in the silence between your own thoughts, you will be able to achieve this goal. I pray that you would have the same mind that I have in you, declares God. Are you aware that this is a legitimate possibility? As you say yes to my truth, yes to my Spirit, and yes to everything that I am saying about what is going on around you, my mind that is unrivaled and boundless, will be able to and will reside in your heart and in your limited thinking. Reject the idea that you are powerless because you are not powerless. The authority and power to speak in my name, as well as the power to create in my name, have been bestowed upon you by me. In the work that was done at Calvary, the dominion that I gave to Adam is restored. In the same way that Adam had the ability to subjugate and maintain the environment that I placed him in, you have a restored authority in redemption that allows you to sustain and maintain the environment that you find yourself in via faith. On this day, make it your intention to fight against everything in your life that is opposed to my promise, both verbally and via your prayers. Make it possible for the light of who I am to shine into every darkened spot inside you, and the eventual consequence will be that all of the darkness that is surrounding you will be driven away. You are not born of darkness but rather of light, and in that light that I am, there is no disappointment, no powerlessness, and no futility. All of these things are swept away in the torrent of my love as I embrace you, heal you, and cleanse you of all unrighteousness. This is your entitlement as my beloved child due to the fact that you are born of light. What the Father has to say about those who are flexible is that they are blessed because they do not become distorted. Beloved, you must never allow yourself to become so ensnared in your own thoughts or in the sectarian allegiances of men that you are unable to break free and conceive a unique, freeing thought. I give you this thought at the very moment that your life is about to undergo a major upheaval. Having faith in your own heart. Use your mouth to communicate. It is important to resist the urge to inquire with your contemporaries or members of your social circle about whether or not they witnessed my voice. I was speaking to you, and even if many around you believe that it was simply an inaudible thundering, you are aware that I have opened my mind to you and imparted a vision that will not lie if you will release yourself to everything that I have promised. You should be ready to go beyond the limits and restrictions that other people will impose on your life. Only to a certain extent are they able to perceive my blessing upon you. In the same manner that Joseph's brothers could not bear the thought of Joseph's disclosed destiny being fulfilled, you should be aware that the idea of man will always be to sell you into slavery to their own Egyptian mentalities. In the same way that Mary, who was aware of who I was and what I had come to do, concealed the actuality of that truth within her heart until her own personal Shiloh arrived. You should learn to conceal things within your heart. Today, you are on the territory of Shiloh. It is possible that the vision I presented to you was not understood by other people. However, this does not imply that it was not true. Are you going to pay attention to man and his uncertainties, or to my quiet, little voice? Embrace the fundamental reality of the possibility that I am bringing into your life, which is the impossible. In the day of my salvation, God declares, you will not be excluded from that which is about to take place, therefore rejoice in what is about to take place. Please accept the approval of heaven today, as God has instructed you to do. In the cherished, you are accepted as you are. Before me, in love, you are blameless and without fault. You have always been like this, even before the planet was even conceived. Preceding the creation of the earth, my dear, you were already present with me and in me as my chosen representative. During the time when I laid the foundations and framework of the earth, you were there with me while the sons of God were singing with gladness. In order to ensure that you would have a future and an anticipated conclusion, each day of your book was written, validated, and the conclusion was reached. It is not necessary for you to wallow in uncertainty. Prior to this, everything has been decided upon. The prior determination of destiny that I have set in you from the beginning of creation is waiting for you to enter it to take effect. I did not forget about you at any point. You are not the result of some random biological event that occurred in the biosphere. You are not accidental in any way. You were brought into the kingdom specifically for a time like this one. In order for you to roam the planet and perform my objectives on a daily and moment-to-moment basis, you were carried out of the hall of unrealized spirits from the womb of your mother and the loins of your father. At that time, all of the provisions that you require today were prepared for you, including the provision that you require at this very moment. Believe in it and accept it. You should say to your soul, I will not fall behind in any gift, no provision, and not even a single thing that is necessary. Downturn, denial, or poverty are not things that were predetermined for you. Says God, you were not ordained to be oppressed, rather, you were ordained to triumph over every challenge and to express my nature in the earth as a testimony of victory and to rejoice in the complete provisioning of heaven in this very moment. You are to drink from the deep wells of my spirit, God says to you today. Both man and you have a thirst that can never be satiated by anything that you can experience outside of me, outside of Christ. This thirst is something that you will never be able to satisfy. Through the process of redemption, I have placed within you an enormous resource that cannot be adequately spoken. Refreshing and renewing you, as well as washing and cleaning you from the contaminations of the unredeemed world that you find yourself in on a daily basis, are all effects that are brought about by this. An unlimited supply that never runs out is provided by the fountains of God and the refreshing of God. Beloved, whenever you experience feelings of dryness, speak to the rock that I am inside you and say, spring up, oh well. I will do exactly that, and you will feel refreshed and revitalized as a result. This is the rest that man does not know about, and this is the refreshing that man does not know about. This is because religion and man are looking outward for what I have placed in you from the inside out. When they say, lo, here, or lo, there, it is a refreshing reminder to know that you do not need to leave, for all that you will ever require that comes from my hand is already present within you. Explore the depths of your being today and take a bite out of that incomprehensible refreshment. Take the dipper of your faith and go down deep today. Have a long, cool draft of the waters of my spirit that will never run dry and will never need to be filtered to eliminate the flesh, the contaminants of man's thinking, or the sediments of earthly trash. This is something that you should do. To you, that is the person I am at this moment. In a manner that is both comprehensive and comprehensive, I am the bubbling fountain that cleanses and refreshes your spirit in a full and complete manner. Ascension faith is something that the Father says you should receive now. In light of what I have already accomplished on the cross, there is no need to anticipate that I will descend down to your level and do a further act of righteousness. There is not a single thing that I am doing on this planet that does not entail faith in some way. Without a doubt, there is not a single act that I have ever done or will ever accomplish in which trust is not the necessary prerequisite in order to bring about the desired result. There are some people who are waiting in vain for me to do anything for them, and it is something that will never happen since what they are waiting for has already been performed on the cross. You, my dearly loved one, are the ones who are to enter into the finished work of the cross. In order to bring you to myself in your resurrection body, I do not need to come down, and I will not return to the earthly realm until I come back in my resurrection body. I will not come down until I come back in my resurrection body. In the meantime, keep yourself busy till I arrive. In the role of king and priest that I have created you to be, take possession of the earth. Make sure that you are aware of the consequences that the empty tomb has in the fallen world that you are currently living in. Everyone and everything in creation is groaning and waiting, not for me to come down, but for you to stand up. Stand up in who you are in me. Be strong in the person that I have made you to be by virtue of the work that was done on the cross. That there is effort involved is something that you are aware of, and even those who are interested in religion are aware of the fact that there is work involved. But what they do not know and what I want you to comprehend is that the job has already been completed in the cross. There is nothing further for me to accomplish, and on the other hand, there is nothing else for you to do other than to enter into the work that has already been completed. It is impossible for you to ask me for anything that I have not already supplied for you before. I want you to understand that if I gave you my only begotten for free 2,000 years ago, I also gave you everything, and anything that you will ever require at that precise instant. This is something that I want you to keep in mind. You do not need to exert any effort. You do not need to work for it. All that is required of you is to accept it within your heart, to walk it out by faith, and to make the declaration out of your mouth in a constant and insistent manner until the substance is manifested and you see the fruit of your lips become manifest by my hand, says God. Today, the Father imparts the message that my kingdom is now in motion. It is not something that can be acquired by observation, nor can it be acquired through the study of religious rules or principles. Despite the fact that you have pleaded with me to reveal my will, darling, my will cannot be discovered in gnosis or in knowledge. What you do, rather than what you learn, will be the means by which you will know my will. It is not via words or by theological conceptions that one can experience my kingdom, rather, it is personally experienced. When I break over you in a moment of bliss and glory to embrace you in the manifestation of my will, you will experience the kingdom that I have created. Those who are familiar with me are the ones who are willing to travel fearlessly and audaciously into the depths of the enemy, knowing that I am their light and their victory before the first blood is even drawn in contention during the conflict. My presence will be present for you as you move beyond the realm of the feasible and into the realm of the impossible. I will make myself known to you in ways that are not accessible to those who are standing by. You have not been called to a life of solitude, rather, you have been invited to sprint through a crowd and leap over a wall in order to witness how I will make myself present to you in those specific moments. In the words of God, reach out for more. Because love is not simply something I do, but also who I am. I love other people. I am love, and you should allow love to be who you are as well. As a result of the fact that my person is the source of my love, it is effortless. The act of attempting to love another person is not love, therefore, you should cease doing it. Refrain from attempting to love and instead focus on being the love that loves so deeply that you are giving your absolute best. Sacrificing your best for the sake of the greatest good for man. They are not on their terms, I am on mine. I did not send my Son into the world in order to satisfy the requirements that man has set for him. As a result of this, they crucified him, and if they had the ability to do so, they would also suffer harm to you. In any case, love them. Are you trying to find something to distract you? You should show kindness to people who have taken advantage of you. Exhibit generosity toward people who have taken from you without expressing gratitude or appreciation for stealing from you. I have noticed, and I will continue to observe, and the prize with which you will be rewarded will be enormous, not only in heaven but also here on earth, because I hear the cries of your heart and I will not withhold from you the thing that you have asked from me. In today's message, God explains that your qualities stem from me. This does not qualify you because of your schooling. The assignment that I have placed in front of you does not validate you based on your current level of experience or maturity. There is no wise or reasonable option that I have selected. I have not selected people who are knowledgeable or who have acquired academic degrees. It is the silly, the base, and the things that are not that I choose among the options. Because of this, you are the ideal vessel, because the glory does not come from your own achievements but rather from the anointing that I have bestowed upon you and the yieldedness that you have within your heart. According to the Father, you should make it your ultimate goal to put your faith in who I am in you and not in anything else. In times when you are at your weakest, I am the one who is already strong within you. If you are unable to make sense of your discoveries, I will provide you with vision and direction. I will hoist you up and cause your feet to grab hold of the solid rock that is my faithfulness when all men turn their backs on you and detest you. As God instructs, be resolute. You will have good success, you will see the labor of your spirit, and you will be satisfied if you are resolved that you will not be influenced away from what I have set before you in any way, shape, or form. This day, God invites you to come to my table. Please come to the table where the abundance of Calvary has been prepared for you. The sacrifice that was made on the cross was made so that you could have life, and that life would be more abundant. Whenever you take advantage of my wealth, you are establishing a connection with my more expansive goals. My Son was sent into the world to rescue you from the seas of tribulation and to bring you to the fellowship of my table, where the bounty that is waiting for you to enjoy is waiting for you to take advantage of. Not only have I provided you with stuff, but I have also provided you with awesome things to take pleasure in. You should thus reject the empty husks of valueless promises that the world makes to you, as the Father instructs you to do. The world is a place where everything is reduced to ashes and dust. In the kingdom that I have established, everything comes to an end in the glory that I have for all eternity. At this precise moment, the angels are bestowing upon you the aforementioned blessing. You are getting a taste of the wonderful things that my Spirit has to offer as well as the powers that will be available in the age to come. Drinking from my fountain and consuming my substance are both things that you are doing. This is the abundance that I use to fill you up on this day. I came here with the intention of accomplishing this. You will be brought to me in harmony, fellowship, and sufficiency if I search you out, save you, and bring you to me. Keeping the main thing, is what Jesus asks us to do today. Do not allow yourself to be sidetracked by the pressures that are on you. Put your ear to the silent, small voice that I am speaking. Figure out how to ask the appropriate questions at the appropriate times. Due to the fact that you are not asking the appropriate questions, there are occasions when you are not receiving the appropriate responses. It brings me great pleasure to have the opportunity to accompany you through events and circumstances that will raise a great deal of questions regarding the next steps to take. Never make the assumption that the answer to the problem that is right in front of you is the one that you should be going to ask me to fulfill. Instead of praying for the process, learn to pray for the result. It is not a good idea to put your faith or concentrate your prayers on how you believe the issue that is currently affecting your life will be resolved. What you believe should happen will almost never be in line with what I actually have planned for the situation. What I think is not the same as what you think. Your ways are not the same as mine. Maintain an open mind. Despite the fact that you are under pressure and people are demanding that you take action, have a teachable attitude. It is not appropriate for you to feel upset simply because other people are upset. Today, the Father has made it clear that there is no turning back. I was the one who brought you out and delivered you. You are aware, deep down in your heart, that I have sent you out into the world to be a come-outer. It is not enough to simply be unique, you must also come to Bethel, where my altar is waiting for the offering of your most profound worship. What you have experienced is the liberty of walking free from the pollutions of religious idols, as well as the freedom of walking free from the freedom of my spirit. Once you have caught a glimpse of the depths of my word and my truths, there is no turning back. It is possible that the crowds are located there, and it is also possible that the language of faith is tracking at the moment. Nonetheless, I have called you to things that are more profound. There will be moments when you will feel the absence of the companionship that other people take pleasure in, but in all honesty, you would never trade it for even a single instant of experiencing the grandeur of my spirit manifesting on the inside of you. As I strolled with Adam and Eve during the cool of the day, I will also stroll alongside you. I am walking alongside you. Inquire about me. It is not for the sake of idle curiosity that I will be found by those who seek me, rather, it is because they realize, as Peter did, that, Lord, to whom shall we go? For you have the words of life. I am your manna on the ground each morning, and I am the water that comes from the rock that others have never taken the time to linger and wait on. That I am. God declares that I am establishing a boundary in your life between the holy and the profane. This boundary will continue to exist. It is not going to make you feel better, but it does indicate that you have been asked to the dinner that other people were also invited to, but they were unable to attend because they had other obligations or something more essential to do. This day, I call you to a more profound contact with me by retrieving you from the highways and byways that you have traveled. The Father has revealed to you today that you will discover me in the hidden location. There are times when you will not find me amid the crowd, but there are times when you will encounter me in the temple. The existence of my presence within you has transformed you into that temple, and you are that temple. It is inevitable that you will experience disappointment if you look to man. It is possible that I may be found in the temple, and from there I will hear from heaven, and I will heal your land. If you pray toward the temple, I will go there. Always keep in mind that my voice is neither the loudest or the most popular of all voices. Excluding oneself from the popular and the things that people are clamoring for is something that everyone should find enjoyable. The moving of my spirit is not a game that is played in the parlor to entertain those who are intrigued about it. My home is not a circus. I am with you. We are waiting. Deep inside the acoustics of your inner man, you will find it. On the inside of you, the wells of life are beginning to sprout up to life itself that will last forever. Never forget who I am in you. Christ in you is the promise of glory. Always keep this in mind. A distraction and a misdirection is any voice, teaching, or influence that leads you away from who I am on the inside of you. This includes any and all influencing factors. Christ in me is the hope of glory, you should say to your soul when you are feeling insecure or inadequate. When you are feeling orphaned and misunderstood, you should say to your soul, Christ on the inside of me is my Father, and Christ in everyone else is just my brother. Love your brother. Standing in solidarity with your brother, but listening, always listening, and joyously obeying your Father, even if your brother does not understand or see things as I have revealed them to you, is the best way to show your support. God declares that this is the way forward, the path that I am guiding you on, and that I am also providing for you and establishing you. At this moment, God is saying, ask for it sooner rather than later, and watch what I do in your life. I am reducing the amount of time that is available to you, says God. I mentioned that the number of days would be reduced. In the same way that I turned back the sundial for the king of old, I am now rolling back the time to your breakthrough and to your answer. Now is the time for you. Breakthrough, change, and deliverance are all happening right now in this season. God has declared that this is the season of rescue for you. Pray with your mouth alone. Make sure that your name is heard. The angels are coming for one thing, and that is coming for the words that you have said. Provide them with something to choose from. Put an end to using words that are full of pessimism, sarcasm, and negative connotations. These things cause my blessing to be withheld. Angels will not approach an altar that has been contaminated with filth, but they will approach the life of the man or woman who will give up the calves of their lips in the spirit of righteousness, faith, and confident hope of my promise. I am now employed. I am quite willing. As you line your words with whatsoever things are pure, perfect, beautiful, and of good report, you will see of the labor of your soul, says God. My goodness will pour down upon you in full measure as you connect your words with these things. Today, the Father tells you that you are beginning to walk into what other people are only waiting for. In addition to allowing you to live in the Spirit, I have also made it possible for you to walk in the Spirit. For as long as you continue to walk in the Spirit, you will continue to make progress. This is not a case of slipping behind. There is no point in failing. This is not a failure since you are not a failure in the first place. There is an all-sufficiency to put you over any impediment or barrier that stands in the way of the upward momentum of your life. This is available to you because I am on the inside of you. You are going to be able to overcome the obstacles that you face. As if they were a plane, you will traverse the mountains of opposition that you face. You will easily travel through every valley, and you will emerge from the other side unscathed and on track to achieve the achievement of your greatest dream and the fulfillment of your deepest heart's desire. You should sever any emotional connection you have with the past sorrows. It is not a moving experience. My hand did not choose them for your life at any point in time. Why would I willingly put myself through suffering for you if I was going to use in you what the cross was designed to take away from you? Embrace the grave garments that come with being a victim. However, you are not a victim. The burial shrouds of sadness and mourning over things that have happened in the past are removed from you. The Lord tells you to put your hand to the plow, and you must not look back. Instead of focusing on the things that are behind you, you should look forward to the things that are in front of you. God says, I have prepared great and mighty things for those who will walk in my spirit and refuse to be deterred from appropriating everything that the cross has paid for them, not only in the life to come but in the down and dirty here and now. I have prepared these things for anyone who would live in harmony with my spirit. Today, the Father tells you that you are traveling among a harvest that has been bleached. You are surrounded by souls that are attempting to enter the kingdom. They are impoverished, they are distracted, they are blind, they are halted, and they are misguiding themselves. What other people consider to be a problem and a group of people who should be avoided, I see as a harvest that is ready to be gathered. You are my humble servant. I didn't ask you to be someone or something that you can't be. To put it simply, I want the person that I am on the inside of you to be replicated in other people. Have a willing attitude. Exhibit flexibility, sendability, and spendability. There is no need to worry about your time or location. Love the folks, that's all. When I offer you opportunities throughout the day to testify to my presence and my glory in the room, you should be prepared to take advantage of such opportunities for the sake of the kingdom. God asks, are you prepared to make a difference in the world? After that, you should stop focusing on yourself. Look away from the man for a moment. Instead of waiting for me to bring you a tremendous soul winner with a nice presentation, you should take action. You were never asked to persuade other people to trust in you. Someone else will persuade folks out of whatever it is that you coerce them into doing. I have called you to be the light that you are, so just be that. Imagine that you are responsible for planting seeds in some and harvesting harvests in others. You are not being rewarded for your achievements, rather, I am rewarding you for your obedience. In order to plant the seed of myself into the lives of those who are around you, you must be obedient. It is my intention to accept responsibility for the subsequent events.